Hey, everybody. Dave Hodges here, host of the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Really glad to be with you. I wish it was under better circumstances. I wish I could do sports, cover sports. That would be a fantasy where there isn't all this trouble in the world, but unfortunately, we have to go where we're needed. And right now, I would be negligent if I didn't cover this story. We're brought to you by preparewithdave.com. Best storable food in the world, restaurant quality, 25-year shelf life, and they give you 2,000 calories a day, and they vary the food so you don't habituate to it. No glyphosates, no GMOs, $100 off the 4-week package. People are buying multiple sets of that. It is the quickest way to reach food storage acceptable levels, and there's 25-year shelf life associated with the food. Go to preparewithdave.com. That's preparewithdave.com. My. I'm going to read some quotes here, just quotes. Ron Paul has come out and he has said there is a major shift in leadership in the fight against CV-19. And it's about time. We've been under the leadership of Fauci, who has been proven to be nothing but inconsistent. I mean, I don't even need to look at my notes here. Okay, Fauci. First, he said, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Wear a mask. Now wear goggles. Ridiculous. We will never shake hands again. We can't go out in large groups. We can't go to school. There won't be any sports. Yeah, but these same principles associated with social distancing and viral transmission have nothing to do with subversive leftist groups marching in the street. The rules don't apply there. The rules of disease transmission are suspended if you're trying to overthrow the United States government. Okay, well, that's a pretty fair assumption, right? Okay, so enter a guy who I was enamored with, and I've actually written articles about it here. I'm going to pull up some of his views here. Dr. Scott Atlas. He's appeared on various shows like Tucker Carlson, and he caught my attention back in late April, early May as someone, he gets it. He understands what I'm reading in these medical textbooks where they say herd immunity, contact tracing after 5 days is a waste of time. These are medical textbooks used to train the doctors that you go to right now. Medical textbooks. We're forsaking all that. We're going for eradication, in which you can't find one documented case for a virus that's been totally eradicated by total isolation. This is a flawed policy, a flawed plan, and it's hard to believe it's not deliberate. Okay, Dr. Scott Atlas wrote here on April 22nd in an op-ed in The Hill. He said, the data is in, stop the panic and end the isolation. And then he's gone in and he said more people are dying from being locked down. And how many times have you heard me say that right here, or read it on my website, or heard it on my radio show, or on our podcasts? You have heard it. Now we're saying it on our TV show at thecommonsenseshow.tv. Atlas, his views are being echoed by the director of the CDC. He's not on board with this insanity. So we're told by social media, we will censor you if you'll go against the CDC. Well, how about when the CDC is siding with the critics? Is that okay then to quote the leader of the CDC? Because I'm about to do that right here. Robert Redfield said last month something I told you back in April. He said, our duty is do no harm. And he went on to say, as I find this here, he admitted last month that lockdowns were, quote, killing more Americans than COVID. First, do no harm, okay? And he basically talks about wrong-headed policies. See, he's not calling the shots for the CDC. It was Fauci. I don't know how that happened. Fauci came out of the NIH, National Institute of Health. How does he have authority over Redfield of the CDC? And here Redfield is agreeing with Scott Atlas. Do you see something funny here? Do you smell poop in the wind? The second 19th letters of the alphabet are the operative verbs here about what's really going on. So you got the head of the CDC, this man who is from the Hoover Fellows of Institute, and he was the head of Stanford Neurology. He's a hospital director, and he's coming out and saying, bull crap. And now we find out that Redfield's saying the same thing, the head of the CDC. They're on your side. See, they would say the same thing as we would. Why are the casinos open, Doug Ducey and Gavin Newsom, and you can't go to the gym? Why? Why? Why is it that religious restrictions are being put on people in severe violation of the First Amendment, but you don't have to social distance in the mafia-run casinos? Why? Want to hear something really good? Dr. Scott Atlas has joined the COVID-19 team as of a few days ago. Ron Paul is saying this marks a shift in the leadership. It's too late for the economy, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through hell. It's going to be hell on earth economically. But it's not too late for our civil liberties. It's not too late to say, okay, we're in this huge hole and we're going to dig our way out. And for a lot of us, it's going to take the rest of our lives and beyond to reach what we had. But it's not too late to preserve this country for future generations. Putting the economy back to work. And then we need to take forceful actions, not against peaceful protesters, people that want policies reviewed. They should be given every voice possible, and they should be listened to by public authorities in positions of power. But the first time a group throws a Molotov cocktail at a police officer, or shines a laser light in their eyes, or firebombs an innocent building, innocent business, they go to jail and they stay in jail. And when the DAs and the mayors will not prosecute and they're letting them loose to do their mayhem again, then you arrest the public officials as accessories to the original crime. That's what needs to happen. See, I'm not radical. There are some people say, oh, Dave Hodges guy's radical. I'm talking about following the Constitution and the rule of law and then applying common sense to dealing with this virus that Dr. Scott Atlas, now on the COVID-19 team, so we can quote him, and Dr. Redfield, thank you for Dr. Redfield. You have courage, my friend. I was critical of you early, and I think I owe you an apology because now you're coming out and you're acting with reason. And you're acting on behalf of the people. Do no harm. That's our command as doctors. Thank you for saying that. Because the man who's been running the show hasn't given a darn about the increase in suicides, hasn't given a darn about depression increases, hasn't given a darn about America's failing health because they can't even go to the gym. Well, we can gamble our money away to the mafia, can't we? Doug Ducey. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God for Ron Paul. He would have been a great founding father. Do we not agree? He's a founding father in the modern era. Even in his retirement, even in his elderly age, this man is sharp as a tack. He's loyal to a fault. He's probably more loyal to America than the best dogs we've ever owned. And I don't think there's any better example of loyalty than a pet to his owner. Ron Paul loves America. He cares about what happens to you. This is why I and people like Ernie Hancock and others who worked in the Levolution and tried to get him elected, but he was screwed in the primary with, shall we say, ballot harvesting. Thank God for Ron Paul. And thank God for all of you, because you're going to take this information with Millie. You're going to take this information from Dr. Scott Atlas. You're going to take this information from Dr. Redfield, the head of the CDC, which we're supposed to be automatically compliant with and we can't question. I don't want to question him. I think he's telling the truth. We're going to take this and go forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, history, as I said in the last video, history is providing you and me with an opportunity here to turn this around right now. Yes, we have a terrible deficit to make up. I'm not going to say there's not going to be pain, but we can save our civil liberties. We can preserve our wonderful form of government for the future. And also, too, it's a wake-up call that maybe we need to be more sensitive. Not maybe, but we should be more sensitive to civil rights issues. That doesn't include outlandish claims that I should move out of my house and other such nonsense. But I'm talking about reasonable, let's sit down and let's make America better than it's been and more fair for more people with equal opportunity, not outcomes. That's up to the person with their talent, but opportunities. We have a chance, America, and I think this is our last chance. I truly do. And if we're going to win this election and give the good guys like Devin Nunes and all the other great people that are out there, and there are some good ones. My Congressman Paul Gosar, for example, is one of the good ones. He was one of the 11 that went after Hillary Clinton. That's right. He had the guts to do that when it wasn't popular to do it. Those people have a chance now. If we can turn this around politically, win some key elections, we have a chance to hang on to our liberties while we rebuild the economy. And it's going to take a lot of hard work because our economy has been devastated by these thugs. That's it for the Common Sense Show. Thank you so much for joining us. And please share this with right-minded liberals. In other words, people who have a good heart but are misguided politically, but can't argue with facts when it deals with humanity, like the torture of Millie Weaver and like what we're seeing here. When you got the top docs in the country, like Dr. Redfield. God bless you, Redfield. Please use these examples in talking to these people and saying we need to set aside our political differences right now. We don't even need to be talking about racial issues right now. We need to save our country. It's like we're in this foxhole, okay? You got a white guy, you got a Hispanic guy, you got a black guy, you got someone, an Asian guy, you've got Native American, you got Middle Eastern guy, and they're all Americans, and they're in this foxhole, and here comes our enemy down the street. Gee, I wonder which ones are going to spare. Answer, none of us. We are all in this together. And the enemies are the people that have destroyed our economy, made regulations that had nothing to do with virus transmission and had everything to do with destroying the economy, civil liberties, establishing power over the people and being dictators and making people get conditioned to the idea that this is no longer a republic form of government that honors civil liberties. We are all in this together. It doesn't matter whether you got a senior citizen, middle age, teenager, kid, doesn't matter. Age, race, national origin, religion, or the lack thereof. We are all in the same boat. And I'll even say this too, to you criminals, you're in this too. You see, you're just as much at risk as the people who have obeyed the laws for their lives, and you haven't, but you're going to end up just as dead from the red as anybody else. This is a wake-up call to America, and history is shining a light, and I believe it's God's providence. Right now, he's going to say, okay, there's a lot of you out there that talk about my son Jesus. You talk about inviting the Holy Spirit in to change things around, and you've been nothing but a hedonistic nation since the 1970s. I'm going to give you a last chance. That's my feeling. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is being spoken to me in my heart. I hope it's from the Holy Spirit, not my imagination, and sometimes it's really hard to tell. But I really believe God is giving you and me one last chance. And remember, I agree, Black Lives Matter, but I am a racist, a human racist. All people who live on this planet, even the evil ones, deserve love. That's our commandment from our Lord. Love your enemy as yourself. It's hard to do, but let's not forget who we are and what made this nation great and how we can make it greater. We need to band together. And God bless you people who have been liberals all your life. And you've been writing to me saying, Dave, I've disagreed with you on so many issues. I've hated you on some days, but you are right about these things today. We are destroying ourselves and we can't have that. Thank you all for having the courage who have done this, who have taken the time to write to me, okay, or leave messages here. I truly, truly do appreciate you. Let me remind you too, the commonsenseshow.tv, we are exploding, and it's only $30 a year. It's commercial free, best interviews. I'm sticking some monologues up there where other people might not be happy with my views. And I think that you should Sign up because you're going to get insights you're not going to get anywhere else. The commonsenseshow.tv is where you want to sign up. Don't sign up at your TV site. You can later adapt that once it's fully populated. And this is going a little slower on the population, but you can always get us at the commonsenseshow.tv. If you have trouble, we're sending out the secure server for help that you can get. They've got help Monday through Friday, but very quickly they're going to 24/7 helpline. The commonsenseshow.tv. See you back here next time.